Thank you very much. Please be seated. Vice President, members of faculty, parents, RCSI students, you're all very welcome to this very important occasion in the RCSI calendar. It's the occasion of our annual prize giving to students who've demonstrated excellence in their programme, and it's also the occasion of our white coat ceremony, which marks the first commitment of our students to professionalism. I'd like to introduce you to some members of the platform party first before we begin. At the table to the front, on your right is the Vice President of RCSI, Council Member Mr. Declan McGee. Beside him is Professor Hannah McGee, Dean of the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences at RCSI. On the platform are representatives of the Students' Union and the faculty. Mr. Shane Carr, Students' Union President, Mr. Alan Jenkinson, Medicine Student Representative, Ms. Joanne O'Dwyer, Pharmacy Student Representative, Mr. Stephen O'Rourke, Physiotherapy Student Representative, Ms. Fiona Mitchell from the Regulation and Records Department, Professor Seamus Sreenan, Director of the Graduate Entry Programme, Professor Marie Guyden, Head of the School of Physiotherapy, Dr. Judith Strawbridge, Programme Director for the School of Pharmacy at RCSI, Professor Clive Lee, Director of Junior Cycle and Professor of Anatomy, Dr. Orna Tai, Vice Dean for Student Affairs, and my name is Cathal Kelly. I'm the CEO and Registrar of RCSI. It gives me great pleasure now to hand over to the Dean of the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences at RCSI, Professor Hannah McGee.
Vice President, Chief Executive, representatives of schools, President of the Students' Union, students, families, guests, and new students and existing students. You're all very welcome here this evening, and I welcome you on behalf of the faculty to this professional induction programme that we hold annually at RCSI, more commonly called the White Coat Ceremony. As students of medicine, pharmacy and physiotherapy, you're expected from the outset to undertake a series of responsibilities that are quite different, really, from many students who are in university. And there are a range of privileges and responsibilities that go with your role as student health professionals. Training as a health professional involves undertaking academic study combined with really training as an apprentice in the healthcare setting, be that in the hospital or in the community clinic or in the GP setting. And it's very different from the relative independence of being a university student without responsibilities apart from to yourself and your studies. And this apprenticeship training is possible because patients and their families throughout this country will generously allow their care to be delivered in a context where you are learning. Our patients and families will permit you as students to learn about healthcare delivery and learn about your chosen discipline of medicine, pharmacy or physiotherapy as they are being treated by sometimes serious, more often worrying and very often distressing conditions. And all of us here have been or will be patients. So you can think about that challenge of being ill and being in a context where you desperately want and need care, maybe worried, frightened for yourself or your families, but also allowing this to be an educational situation for the next generation of students. So it's a very generous thing that our patients do, and Irish patients and their families are well known for being very generous with their time in relation to allowing students to learn on the job while they're being treated. And it's an enormous privilege, and one that successive generations of academics like ourselves and clinicians and you as students must learn to earn, to respect and to preserve. If people were to become disenchanted with being a part of a system or a hospital where training took place, it would be virtually impossible for us to run good training for our students today and in the future. So the white coat is really reminding us that it's a very responsible job you have as being a student who continues to preserve that good relationship between patients and educators that we have in this country. And the white coat symbolises many things. First of all, it symbolises the health professional, be you a trainee doctor, a trainee pharmacist, or a trainee physiotherapist today. It also symbolises the scientist. When we see scientists on television, they're usually in white coats. And so it reminds us that the disciplines of medicine, pharmacy, and physiotherapy are based on science. What you'll be learning, particularly in the early years, is the evidence base for your discipline. And the challenge for you is to always practice a discipline that's based on current and best evidence for your patient. And of course, we know sometimes as well that the white coat can be seen as a barrier. In a good way, it's a barrier to infection control. We also know that sometimes it can be a barrier to good communication. So it can actually be the thing that stops you communicating and getting on well with your patients. We all know about white coats and children being scared of doctors in white coats and so on. But that's worth remembering as well, that we can sometimes use the white coat as a way of distancing ourselves inappropriately from our patients. And while, as you know, white coats are very often not worn in all health professional situations, sometimes they're short coats, sometimes increasingly, for example, in this country, there are coats with short sleeves, or no ties or short ties, or no coats and so on. It remains a very powerful symbol. We all know what the white coat means, even if it's not something in your career that you might wear every day. And so for students, we're using this as a metaphor as you embark on your health professional training. And the white coat ceremony was developed actually relatively recently in the 1990s in the US by a physician called Dr. Gold. And this is how he describes the role of the white coat ceremony. The ceremony is intended to impress upon you the primacy of the professional-patient relationship. So for professional, put in doctor-patient, pharmacist-patient, physiotherapist-patient, but the relationship with your patient, to encourage you to enter into a psychological contract in which you accept the obligations inherent in the practice of your profession, to be excellent in science, and a white coat in that sense, to be compassionate, and to lead lives of honor. And the white coat ceremony is designated to clarify for you as students that it will be your responsibility to take care of patients and to also care for patients and to care for that relationship of respect that you have as student professionals. So as a professional, the white coat has often been associated with respect for you as the wearer. We expect to respect experts in white coats. And here today, it's equally important to remind you that as students, you must learn to be respectful. It's a two-way process. To respectful to patients, but also to your fellow classmates, to your teachers, and to all of the staff that you meet at RCSI and elsewhere during your training. We have as our 4 values here, we have RCSI for the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland, but we also have respect, collegiality, scholarship, and innovation. And the R comes first. In everything that you do, we expect you to be respectful, and we expect that you should be treated with respect by us. And we will keep each other to that contract. Where we see there is a lack of respect, either from students to staff, or staff to students, or students to patients, and so on, that is something that we take up as damaging to the traditions and the honour of our healthcare professionals. So this ceremony matters because it's about you taking on a professional ideal about respect, integrity, and reliability in terms of what patients can expect from you. And the qualities that we expect all of you to develop over the undergraduate years. And so as an inspiration, we combine this ceremony every year with 2 related events. Firstly, most of you in the room here today are starting your careers. Yesterday you started. You'll have so many speeches that by tomorrow or Thursday you'll be hoping you can just get on to lectures. But don't worry, you'll get on to your lectures soon. But what we want to do also as part of this is to recognise the academic achievements of the existing students who have excelled in 2nd, 3rd, 4th year and so on. All of our students, like yourselves, have earned the right to be here. All of our students in the years above 1st year have earned the rights to stay here. But amongst all of our good students, we have some who really excel, and it can be very challenging to excel in a class of 200 or 300 students. So every year we mark the really outstanding students with prizes, and we do that here this evening. And we do it in this context with 1st years, again to give you something to aspire to. You all aspire to getting a place here, which you have gotten So the aspiration for next year is to keep your place here and maybe be here next year as second years winning one of the class prizes. So in parallel, we also invite students from our three disciplines to talk a little bit about extracurricular activities during college. Many of our students undertake a whole range of outreach activities, overseas activities during the summer and so on. And again, we thought this is a very nice place to hear about some of those and how the students A, enjoy them, B, learn from them, and C, felt that they would help their professional and personal development. And so we will hear from them next. And the ceremony then will conclude with asking you as the first years, you as three groups, but as a single common group as training health professionals, to put on your white coat as a symbol of taking on the responsibility of being a healthcare professional in training. So I'm going to pass you over to our Vice Dean, Orna Tighe, who's going to speak to you next in relation to the ceremony. Thank you, Orna. I should introduce Orna properly. This is Dr. Orna Tighe, who's our Vice Dean for Student Affairs.
Hello everybody, and it gives me great pleasure to move on to celebrate the excellence of our students. And my role here today is to announce the prize winners, and we will welcome the prize winners to come up to the platform to receive their medals. So without further ado, I'll start off, and we'll celebrate our foundation year students from the School of Medicine. And our first place and silver medal, which reflects the best aggregate mark across all the modules taught on the programme, has been won by Mr. Humod Bukkampar. Second place and bronze medal is awarded to Nasir Karimi. For our physiotherapy students that attend our foundation year programme, again, a prize recognising an aggregate marks across all our modules in that foundation year. Silver medal and first place goes to Tara Drugan. Our second place and bronze medal is awarded equally to Haritha Jacob, who isn't with us here tonight, and to Miss Caroline Kelly. For our junior cycle medical programme, we present prizes to first, second, third, fourth and fifth place based on aggregate marks across all the modules in the JC exams. And our gold medal and first place winner is Ming Ying Yo. Our silver medal and second place is presented to Yuan Chong Chang. Bronze medal and third place is awarded to Shou Wei Tan. Bronze medal and fourth place is awarded to Ayushi Ray. And bronze medal and fifth place to April Romain. Within the junior cycle, we also award prizes for some of our subspecialities. And we have the Evet Memorial Medal, which takes account of the mean of anatomy practical marks for our junior cycle 1 for our neuromuscular and elementary system, and our CVR cardiovascular system in JC2. The students in the top of that class are then invited for a prize exam on the CVR content cardiovascular. And the winner of that is Mr. Anthony Sharkey. The bronze medal and second Evet Memorial Medal is awarded to Fikna Priya Enchan. The Barker Dissection Prize is given to a student for the best dissection and report on a region of clinical importance and is awarded to Nandira Hamid Termisi. The Stoney Memorial Medal is another prize for anatomy where we take into account the JC3, the third semester of the junior cycle, and this is awarded to Taylor Petropoulos. The bronze medal and second prize is awarded to Ahmed Mahmoud. The next three prizes are awarded to students who have an overall aggregate mark of 2-1 honours across the 12 modules in JC1 and JC2, and then can enter a prize where they either have to submit a written submission or an oral examination. Beg your pardon. The first one is awarded the Kane Medal in Neurobiology, and it's awarded to Ayushi Rai. The Norman Ray Gold Medal in Health, Behaviour and Society is awarded to Ka Yan Lo. The Upjohn Medal in Molecular Medicine is awarded to Shea Wen Tan. And the Ellen Moorhouse Prize Exam, the silver medal in first place, is awarded to Jane Noble. The bronze medal and second place is awarded to Rachel Mattison. We recognise that the excellence often achieved in foundation year is progressed along through the college, and we're happy to award prizes for our intermediate cycle students. The intermediate cycle medal for excellence in medicine and surgery is awarded to Sarah Shemansky. The Pathology Medal, reflecting scores on combined pathology results across modular exams of the Intermediate Cycle 1 and 2, is awarded to Wayam Al-Sawad. And the second prize and bronze medal, Pathology Medal, is awarded to Rachel Mattison. Our students from the Graduate Entry Programme are also recognised for their excellence, and our gold medal and first place for aggregate marks in Year 1 exams are presented to Sharon Kennedy. Silver medal and second place is awarded to Alexander Hedriko. And bronze medal and third place is awarded to Jessica Grandish. For our second year graduate entry students, we are awarding first place for aggregate marks in the Year 2 exams to Martha McCormack. The silver medal and second place is awarded to Ruth McCarran. And the bronze medal and third place is awarded to Rachel Green. And again, an anatomy award for our graduate entry programmes, the Syed Hansen Memorial Medal, reflecting a mean of anatomy practical marks across their modules, is awarded to Brian McCarthy. We're happy to celebrate excellence in our physiotherapy programme as well. And again, we reflect our first year success for aggregate marks across all modules in the foundation year exams, and that is awarded to Gordon Tracy. For our physiotherapy second year award winner, we're happy to award Sharon Cullen the silver medal. And our third year award goes to Miss Emily Ratsalfin. Emily's not here with us today. Our pharmacy students are also wonderful students, and it's reflected in the great work that they put into their programme. And our first year pharmacy prize, the silver medal in first place, is awarded to Katie McCormack. Our silver medal in first place for the pharmacy second year is awarded to Niamh Keating. And our third year pharmacy student winner and of the silver medal in first place is Fiona McNeela. And for our final years, we have the Professor John G. Kelly Medal, which reflects the highest overall mark in the pharmacy degree programme, and we're happy to be awarding that to Joanne O'Dwyer. She's behind you. Our pharmacy programme gets great support from the pharmacy industry, and we're very, very happy to welcome today Dr. Katrina Bradley, who will present the Boots Medal for Excellence in Pharmacy. This reflects the highest marks in practice of pharmacy in the final year of the programme. Thank you, Katrina. And the winner of that medal is Miss Joanne O'Dwyer. We also have the Leo Medal for Excellence in Pharmaceutics. Again, it's the highest marks in pharmaceutics in the final year of the programme, and this prize is shared this year, and we're happy to present the prize to two recipients. The first one is Miss Joanne O'Dwyer. And we're happy to welcome Martin Lanigan to the stage to reflect his excellence. The Abbott Medal for Postgraduate Pharmaceutical Science is awarded to Patrick Costello, who can't be with us here today. At RCSI, we also like to celebrate research, and all our students get a chance to be involved in research projects throughout their course. And we're happy today to welcome Ms. Aoife McAuliffe, who's a representative from the pharmaceutical company Servier, who's going to present the Servier Medals for Research to our students. Our first medal is for a novice researcher. This is a student this is their first primary degree, and they've no previous research experience, and that's been presented to Emile Bowman-Glag. The The second medal is presented to an experienced researcher, someone who has a previous degree or previous research experience, and the recipient of this prize is Joseph Sweeney. And our final prize today is an RCSI Sports Scholarship. At college here, we like to recognise excellence both within the academic setting and outside of it. And we're very, very happy to award this prize to a student who's a member of the Ireland Senior Women's National Hockey Squad since 2012. She's represented Leinster Ladies Hockey at under 16, under 18 and under 21. She's earned the goalkeeper of the competition in Irish Hockey League, which is competing in the Premier Division of a European club hockey with her team Railway Union. So we're happy to award the RCSI Sports Scholarship to Grace O'Flanagan. Thank you, everybody. That concludes the medal ceremony. And now what I'm going to do is open the floor and invite some of our students to tell you of their experience of college, what's helped them progress and achieve excellence. So the first person I'm going to call on today is Mr. Shane Carr from the Students' Union, who's going to address you first.
Vice President, CEO, and Madam Dean, members of faculty, fellow students and family members. On behalf of the Students' Union, I would like to congratulate and welcome all the new students starting in RCSI, and I would also like to congratulate all the prize winners as well. I'm sure for all being present in this room, this evening is the result of an individual hard work, dedication and persistence with no small contribution from family and friends. It is a fantastic achievement. But I think the most exciting thing about this evening is that it really does symbolise, for all the first years, the beginning of your time at RCSI. My experience of RCSI is that of a uniquely challenging and exciting place to be a student. For the most part, I would contribute this to the people that you have the privilege of spending your time with here. Although the majority of you are still only getting to know each other, over the coming weeks, months and years, you will come to realise that you're surrounded by so many fascinating and excellent people. These people will challenge you, they will make you think, and they will inspire you to really strive to realise your own individual potential. It truly is a privilege to be in the presence of people like this on a daily basis, and it is something which I think everyone beginning their time here should be thoroughly looking forward to. I find it funny that when I meet any of my friends who have graduated from the RCSI, the conversation rarely passes by without them wishing they were back in the college here. And with no attempt to master jealousy, I'm constantly reminded how lucky I am. And on that note, I would also say to everyone beginning his or her time here to enjoy it. This is what you have worked hard and strive towards. Savour it. You can ask any student your time in college will pass in the blink of an eye, and it genuinely is one of the most fun and enjoyable times of your life. Apart, obviously, from the 8 a.m. lectures and the 7:30 ward rounds, of course. But don't let this time pass you by. Engage with everything and make the most of your time here. Whether it's in a lecture theatre, the anatomy room, on the sports field, or on college night out, take it all in and enjoy it. In closing, I would like to leave you with a quote from Professor Lord Ara Darcy, one of the college's most distinguished graduates, and an individual whom I had the privilege of listening to as he addressed the most recent graduating class in medicine at RCSI. One line in particular stood out for me from his speech, and although it was in reference to the graduating students embarking on their careers as doctors, I believe it is equally applicable to every student here as you start your time in RCSI. The point of the journey isn't to be carried along or hitch along with others. Life isn't a novel, it's an autobiography. You can make choices every day, and you can choose to accept the world as it is or shape it to what it should be. I would like to wish you all the very best of luck over the coming years, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Shane. I'd now like to introduce you to Mr. Alan Jenkinson, who's a senior cycle student in the medicine programme.
College officers, guests, parents and first-year students. We all strive to be excellent, and at RCSI this is encouraged and supported. In the past 4 years, I have been immersed in an environment that allows me to develop both academically and personally into a future physician that will continue to maintain these standards. I have been given numerous opportunities to develop both on a personal level and professionally. Professional development in the world of medicine, pharmacy, and physiotherapy is largely based on advancing yourself academically. Throughout my time in RCSI, I have had a number of opportunities to become involved in both lab research and clinical research. Through these experiences, I have been mentored by faculty, and they have provided me invaluable advice and leadership, helping me to further my career. Research is not the only opportunity the college offers for professional development. Many doors have been opened for students through their involvement in college societies. Ranging from pediatrics to surgery, Red Cross to Doctors Without Borders, the societies provide an opportunity for students to develop interpersonal skills, organizational skills, and leadership skills, all of which aid in molding you into a competent and confident individual. Last year, I was involved with the peer-led teaching program, and as part of this program, students in the senior years provide tutorials and guidance to junior students. On a personal level, this was a fantastic opportunity for me, learning to organize the program, tutoring students in the junior years, and also being able to give back to the college. Another unique aspect of the program is that it encourages relationships to develop between students in different years, which helps to create an environment which is both inclusive, supportive, and friendly. This helps to contribute to the uniqueness of the small college nature of RCSI. My most recent opportunity for both personal and professional development was not here in Dublin, but in America, where I spent 2 months working in children's hospitals. I spent time in New York through a collaborative agreement that RCSI has with Columbia University. One of many such relationships RCSI has with leading institutions throughout the world. As students of the college, you will have various opportunities to travel to America, Australia, Canada, the UK, amongst others through the relationships the college has established throughout the years. These relationships are not solely established with first world institutes. RCSI has a partnership program with the College of Surgeons of Central and East Africa, which provides you with the opportunity to travel to Africa to volunteer in their hospital system. I spent my second month in Boston, in one of the leading children's hospitals in America. I want to highlight this experience for you all, as it wasn't necessarily through merit that I was granted this opportunity, but through communication with our alumni office, an invaluable asset of RCSI. Each year, a large portion of every class leaves Ireland in many different directions in every corner of the world. Each year, the alumni family grows, and with it comes new opportunities for students to engage with this incredible diaspora of graduates. Finally, one of the greatest contributions to my own development has come from my classmates. You are all traveling on the same journey with similar ups and downs along the way. You will rely on their words for advice, encouragement, and most of all, support, which will all help to contribute to your own development. As of Monday, you became RCSI students, and as of 5 years' time, or 4 years' time, you'll be RCSI graduates. These are labels you will carry with you for the rest of your lives, and they will afford you invaluable opportunities to learn and grow along the way. It's up to you to seek out those opportunities and make the most of your time here.
Our thanks to Alan, and I'm happy to welcome our esteemed prize winner, Ms. Joanne O'Dwyer from the School of Pharmacy, who's going to address you about her experiences here in college.
Distinguished guests, parents, first-year students. As Dr. Taya said, my name is Joanne O'Dwyer. I have just completed 4 years of pharmacy here in RCSI. When I was asked to write this speech, I tried to remember how I felt as I sat there as a first-year student. I thought, how would I ever get to know all of these people that surrounded me? I thought, they're all so much more intelligent than I am. I'll really never be able for this. But yet, here I am. I'm not going to tell you that the journey was easy, and I'm not going to tell you that it's all plain sailing. But just remember that the very fact that you are all here means that you are well able for anything that might come in the years ahead. Most people think when they go to college that they are going somewhere where they will be just a number, where nobody will really know their name. Let me warn you now, this is not RCSI. In RCSI, the lecturers know who you are. They know if you don't turn up to your lectures or if you don't submit your assignments. I'm warning you now, don't forget it. In the summer after my 3rd year here, I got an opportunity to do summer research. I know what you're thinking. I had spent a whole year in college here. Why would I want to spend my summer here as well? I thought the same. But this turned out to be a fantastic opportunity for me. Not only did I get to see all of the research that goes on behind the scenes here at RCSI, but I got to interact with the lecturers and see that they were real people. I got to know just what was going on and to see the amount of work that goes on here, even though you don't see it on a day-to-day basis. I'm not sure if research was exactly my thing, and in fact, I think I talked more in the lab than anybody else ever had. But what I'm saying is, don't close your mind to any experiences. Don't be surprised if when you graduate, what you want to do or the area you want to practice in is entirely different to what you think it is now. Last year, I volunteered to give grinds as part of the RCSI REACH programme. This programme gives after-school support and grinds to students from less advantaged areas of Dublin City. I can honestly say that this was the most rewarding thing I have ever done. I might have been doing the teaching, but I learned a lot as well about Dublin football and inner city culture. It really was a two-way learning experience. Throughout my college years, I also had a part-time job in Costigan's Pharmacy in Tipperary. This provided me with an excellent opportunity, not just to learn about medicines and pharmacy in general, but to interact with people, to see what their problems really were, and to use the information I learned in college in real-life scenarios. We are talking today about excellence at RCSI, but excellence here doesn't refer to performing well in your exams. Excellence is the standard we strive for in caring for our patients. This is not because excellent patient care sounds wonderful. It's because excellent patient care is what people deserve. Aristotle once said of excellence, excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution. If you make the effort for your patients and always intend to do your best by them, you will never go far wrong. As I embark on my pre-reg year, getting up for work at 8 o'clock every morning, I often think back to those glorious college days where lectures might not have started until 10 or 12 if we were really lucky. So I say to you, enjoy your time in college. Enjoy the late starts, the sleep-ins, the nights out. Enjoy the 2-hour lunch breaks and the rare 4-day weeks. I guarantee you that your time here in RCSI will go by very quickly. And much sooner than you think, you will be out in the real world with real patients and real responsibilities. I wish each and every one of you the very best of luck in your time here.
Thanks, Joanne, and I'm sure we're all very happy up here that we're recognised as real people. Finally, our last student to speak to us today is Mr. Stephen O'Rourke from the School of Physiotherapy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, professors, academic staff and fellow students. First of all, I'd like to welcome all the new students and congratulate the medal winners on such fantastic achievement. I have the honour of representing the physiotherapy student body this evening, but also mature students, and thankfully RCSI embrace so many of us. I'm in my final year of the physiotherapy programme. I've had many previous lives before commencing my studies here. I was privileged to have attended the Samuel Beckett Centre in Trinity College, where I trained to be an actor. Following this, I worked as a professional actor, performing with the National Theatre on several productions. Most people I say this to look at me like most of you are probably looking at me now and saying, why physiotherapy? Most people find it hard to connect two such different worlds, and it's always made sense in my head, but for others they seem to struggle to see the connection and view it as a new road rather than an extension of a path. When I first started at RCSI, I had similar concerns and questioned my academic ability. I was leaving a world of poetry and prose and delving into a new world full of medical lingo and anatomy and physiology. I doubted myself on numerous occasions and debated if these people who had looked at me like I had 10 heads when I told them I'd gotten a place on the physiotherapy program at RCSI were in fact valid in their concern. I've always been fascinated with the human body, how it functions, moves, and rehabilitates, and I'm delighted that I chose to extend my path here at RCSI. It's such a diverse and unique college, and it's given me the opportunity to meet people from many different countries and cultures. As I became closer to my fellow classmates and set out on a journey with them to various different hospitals for clinical placements, my initial worries were unwarranted. A career as a medical practitioner, be it a physiotherapist, a pharmacist, or physician, is based on human connection. This is at the very core of the medical professions. It is therefore imperative that one draws on all their experience to assist them in becoming the most effective communicator. You can sit for hours in the library on end and be able to recite every textbook on your reading list. And don't get me wrong, I would love to be able to do this. But it's vital that you work hard during your time here. But don't underestimate what you bring to RCSI as you take these initial steps on your future paths. If you've volunteered in your local community, babysat your cousins or for your next door neighbours, played on your local soccer club, helped care for an elderly grandparent, or worked in a corner shop. Use these social interactions to help guide you. It became clear to me during my clinical placements that forming professional bonds with both your patients and the medical team you work on is one of the most important elements of our work. You may be sitting there like I was a few years ago and wondering, what do I have to offer? Look beyond the realms of grades and academic achievement and remember all the positive experiences you carry with you, no matter what age you are. This will help shape you into a caring, emphatic, approachable, team-orientated healthcare professional of the future. RCSI not only offers you the chance to excel academically, but to also grow personally. The people sitting next to you are your future colleagues. Draw support from each other during your time here. I'd like to leave you with a quick quote from Albert Einstein. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. Thank you.
I think every year we invite students to address the white coat ceremony, and I think every year all of us here up on this platform and sitting at the side are astounded at what our students can teach us. I think we just had 4 fantastic views of what it's like to be in a college student here at RCSI and what wonderful students we have, and maybe we'll all reflect this with a round of applause to the students. I'm now going to proceed on with our white coat ceremony, and it gives me great pleasure to ask Professor Clive Lee, our Professor of Anatomy, to address you with the title of his talk, The Anatomy Room Experience.
Mr. Vice President, Registrar, Dean, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to join with my colleagues in welcoming you all, students and your families, to the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland and to the beginning of your professional training in medicine, pharmacy and physiotherapy. This white coat ceremony is a rite of passage, a visible sign of your entry into a professional course. All 3 professions involve dealing with patients, and you'll meet your first patients in the anatomy department. But where do they come from? If you look at anatomy lesson paintings, such as those by Rembrandt, The cadaver was always a convicted criminal who'd been executed that day. But the demand for cadavers exceeded the supply, so grave robbing and murder were resorted to. This all changed in 1832 with the passing of the Anatomy Act, specifically to ensure a legal supply of cadavers with which to educate doctors. Initially, the source was those whose bodies were unclaimed by their families. But in the 1960s, this changed when the Irish anatomists initiated a campaign to encourage members of the public to donate their remains after death for medical teaching and research. It is these people whom you will meet in the anatomy room, Irish men and women who have generously donated their remains so that you may learn anatomy. The people who donate their bodies to us want you to learn from them. It's their gift to you. They are both your teachers and your first patients. You can repay their generosity by doing your best, by studying hard, and by treating their remains with discretion and respect. Your clinical problems should not be discussed in public on the bus home, and nor should theirs. So they will also help teach you how to behave as a professional. When you don your new white coat and come into the anatomy room, you'll also meet some of the senior members of the health professions, people like Mr. Brian Lane, a graduate and fellow of this college. These are people to look up to emulate their knowledge, professionalism, and kindness. They teach by example, and you will learn, I suspect, something by osmosis. I hope that you enjoy your anatomy course with us, resplendent in your white coats. These are health and safety devices to protect you while you dissect, so please keep them clean and out of the canteen. They are also an important professional symbol, so you have high standards to maintain. I congratulate you all on reaching this landmark in your careers and your parents for helping you to do so. I look forward to working with you and wish you success and good luck. Thank you very much. No exam would be complete without the practical element. So now the challenge for those of you who are joining us is to stand up and put your white coat on, please. Having managed that, there's the walking test. So you should please walk down the aisle, shake hands with the person at the end of the aisle, and then go up the side aisle again. Perambulation.
Just to explain to our guests here, our students are now walking up and they're meeting the head of School of Physiotherapy, Professor Marie Guyden, the Vice President of the college, and on the other side we have Professor Seamus Reenan from the Graduate Entry Programme, Director of the Graduate Entry Programme, and Dr. Judith Strawbridge, who's the Director of the School of Pharmacy. Okay, everybody, just a tiny little bit of business, if I may. Could the prize winners and their guests just stay here after we've processed out, so as we can take some photographs for our records and for yourselves. We pass them on to you. So if just the prize winners and the guests stay here. We're going to process out now in 1 minute. This is just the end of the ceremony. And I think maybe what we need to do is celebrate. You've got here, it started. Congratulations, everybody, and welcome. forward to meeting and getting to know you over your time here in college. And as I say, you're very, very welcome. The platform party is now going to process out, and then you're free to go and enjoy yourselves for the evening.
Thanks,